Welcome to the new episode of the Rebel Radio Podcast. This is Mark.
This is Matt.
This is Long, the Stalker.
The Stalker? Who the fuck are
The
you
Stroker?
stalking, man?
Long the Stroker?
He didn't say Stroker.
Oh, I thought he said Stroker.
That was our old co-host. He would have said something.
Yeah, he would have said.
Stroker.
Yeah, he would
Does
have said
Iris
something like
listen
that.
to our podcast?
Iris usually listens to our podcast. I don't
I'm
know if she's
stalking
caught
Iris.
up. You're stalking Iris.
I'm stalking Iris.
That's she is part Filipino, so she might destroy you.
Yeah,
They're vicious.
My brother-in-law's
I hear they practice voodoo. Filipinos.
Voodoo.
Yeah, voodoo shit.
That's possible. But aren't we
Yeah.
past Halloween now? People still doing voodoo in November.
Yeah, future shit.
It's only a week.
Did you know
since Halloween?
That's true. It's apparently it's no shave November apparently, but I shaved today.
I thought it was No Nut November.
That's what I thought it was
It's
too.
also no nut in November.
Whoever came up with that?
Yeah. Blue ball.
Kids.
I bet Matt probably failed that already, but that's okay.
Yeah. You're horrible.
Oh man, it's also Turkey
But I
month.
did that in the last episode.
Yeah, you
Shut
did.
up, Long.
So how are you fellas?
Good.
Energized with
Very good.
Monster.
I thought you were
feel
gonna stop
like
drinking that shit.
I feel like this week's download list is going to be pretty long.
It's gonna be pretty good because
Yeah.
Because I ain't got shit.
Yeah, well,
I did some stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I did some stuff.
Like, oh wait, no, I did watch something. Okay,
There we go.
yeah, no, I did watch a couple things, but yeah, because the week itself has been. I went back to work and it's been pretty fucking horrible. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no one from work that listens to this show that's not going to agree with that. And it's just
Why?
because
Has
it's
it
the
been
holiday.
bad?
It's just the holiday season. They send so
Oh.
much fucking shit to the store, and it's just like you're buried in cranberry juice and pumpkin pie mix and beer and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
it's
and
just
your
like,
store is too big for that storage room.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
It
we have,
is the smallest storage room I've ever seen for.
we have
you
no
know,
space in
your
that back
supermarket.
room, and it's just like it's a cluster.
It's
Fuck.
spilling over.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And so I literally did not take a break or eat lunch at all at work this week. It was
Wow.
just straight through every day, just trying to get things done. It'll be other Monday morning when I get back. On
The only solution I see to that store getting its problems fixed is buying out that Chinese restaurant and that hair salon next door,
right.
and then knocking those walls down, and then like somehow expanding the backroom area forward.
But anyway, yeah. So
This will be my last episode.
Well, you just admitted to a misdemeanor, and then now you're saying about you're dangling, and then you're the stroker or something. I don't know, like you're this wrestler.
You want to hear the stroker?
I do.
I said stalker.
So since she got
pervert.
pregnant, did she cut you off? You started talking a lot about
I
stroking
know.
today.
Sitting in all these videos.
Yeah, maybe
Oh, that's right. I don't want to pay attention to half this Facebook shit he sends, but yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm like Fletcher from Liar Liar. I'm a little upset about a bad sexual episode I had last night.
You know, there's that that really funny Eddie Murphy routine about being abstinent involuntarily.
No.
It's like, yeah, when you're abstinent for so long, you don't get any. You start acting funny, and things start tasting better, and then, ooh, like, these crackers are good.
That's funny.
Could be
Eddie
true.
Murphy, legend.
But
So Matt's gonna really enjoy eating crackers.
Crackers, Ritz,
Saltines.
Goldfish, yeah, saltines, yeah,
and whatever else she craves.
Triscuits,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep,
Fuck, man.
pickles.
I feel sorry for you, bro.
I feel sorry for
I mean,
me.
I got 3, man. And it's like zone defense, and you're fixing to go to fucking full on prevent. And
Yeah,
well,
Do you take maternity leave too?
I do. Yeah, I get 3 weeks.
Such a weird concept to me for the father to take maternity leave.
Yeah, I mean, we used to get 6 weeks. I got 6 weeks last time, but some people abused it at work, so now they cut it down to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's still not a bad amount of time.
Shit.
So next year, I'm gonna have with my purchased vacation and my floating holidays, I get 7 weeks of vacation next year.
Cool beans.
Yeah, not bad.
So we launched a Patreon last week.
Yeah.
to some success. We have 3 Patreons in the first week. And thank you guys for joining our Patreon. Mike Barnes.
Yes.
And Brett Henneke and Matt Tarbutton all joined. And we told you y'all would get shout-outs on the show. And we really appreciate it. We were going to have some cool stuff planned for this. Exclusive episodes will start in January 2020 on a monthly basis. But I'm pretty damn sure you're going to get something in your inbox before Christmas or around Christmas. We have different tiers. At $2 a month, you can get your name on the show and get your name on the website. And you might get some bonus. You also get at least 2 free episodes, bonus episodes for the $2 tier. At $5, you get bonus episode every month for the whole year. And you get a button and a sticker and a shout out in the show. And at $15, you get an exclusive t-shirt, plus all the other things. So Matt Tarbutton did the $15 tier. And so we have to give him a special shout out for doing that because we really appreciate it. But you go to rebelradiopodcast.com and click the little button that says Patreon. There's the logo there. It's also the wording of Patreon. And join up. And we really appreciate it. You'll get your shout out on the show too. And it helps us to keep bringing you all a cool podcast and things like that. And more exclusive content. We say a monthly bonus episode, but I think we're going to do some fun stuff. We're going to fill your inbox with some cool shit, or at least we hope to.
Yeah.
We're going to make it worth your while. And so we appreciate those guys joining the Patreon. And also next week, if you're in Houston at Bar Boheme, is the 2nd annual Podfest. We may be there.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards going since our names are on the flyer. So there'll be some other cool shows there. Brandon and Randy from Cult 45 and Rod from Random Ramblings. The Murder City Girls, they'll be there. Walker the Geek, I'm sure he'll probably be out there hanging. Brian from the Bri-Fi podcast. Some people we know through Comic Palooza and other things that we've met over the years. Some good people. So come check that out if you live in Houston next Saturday night.
And you want to drink.
It's going to be an audio orgy.
Yes. I think more than like, I joke that, but I have a feeling we'll be there.
Yeah.
Even if we only stay for a little bit, we'll be there just to make an appearance. And have a night amongst adults. So sometimes I don't know what that's like anymore.
For real.
Yeah. So let's get into today's show. Download this, man. This is where we say what we watched, streamed, checked out this week, and see if I want to go first.
Start off with you, Matt.
Yeah, so I wanted a refresh on what Judge Dredd was from 1995.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, it is entertaining at the beginning.
Isn't it, I think, or something? Or
I don't think so. It used to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have the cool part is, of course, the different ammo switch, the rapid fire, armor piercing, and then he's like, gun. Double whammy. And then it's the one bullet splits into 2.
Talking about the Stallone version? Or there's the
Stallone version. And it's like he's got the clone, it's always a clone with these Stallone and Arnold movies. He's got a clone, and that's how they frame him, and that's how he goes to prison, and stuff like that. And he comes back and he's like, the law. You got Rob Schneider in there.
Yeah.
Hot Rob Schneider, But, and then I also watched, I haven't watched it yet, but I downloaded Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I haven't seen it yet. Also went to go see Terminator Dark Fate.
Did you buy that on your Vudu?
I rented it.
Oh, okay.
I rented it. We're going to start watching it tonight, so.
I wanted to see that.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to have time for it. That's okay.
What did you think of Dark Fate?
I enjoyed it. I'm like you. I think it's probably the second best, tie for second best Terminator film.
You think so?
I think so. Arnold's character.
I would say it was the third.
Kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
Maybe T1 is a little better.
Yeah.
You could definitely say it's as good or T1's just a little better. I would be fine with either one. But yeah, I think some people said there were too much I'll be back jokes, but I think there's like 2.
No, there's only 2.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people were just ready to hate on the movie.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel.
And I think maybe people
said that
were
for years about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
People just wanted to hate on that movie automatically, and it's not that bad of an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie except for the monkey swinging scene.
Yeah. But yeah, I found it entertaining. The whole future shit comment was pretty funny. There's like, this girl has an answer to this guy's inquiry, and she's like, doing future shit. And I'm like, future shit.
What did you think of the surprise death scene in the opening act?
Oh, wow. That was crazy, but it explained everything. And really, I think, it's probably the only way they really could have gone with it.
Yeah. To reboot the series.
To reboot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the past die.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
That's why I was the first thing I said when I saw that image was, wow. They are really, because in the past it's always that main storyline in the future war, and then they're like, well, we're done beating this to the dead horse, and
yeah.
I don't know.
So
we're doing a pretty good job of not spoiling it.
Yeah. Hopefully,
we already know what it is.
So if you haven't seen Terminator Dark Fate, go out there and watch it. Give it a chance. I enjoyed it. I think it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, pay a little bit of money, get entertained, and get this notch in your belt.
Yeah. See, my gripe, it's not a big gripe, but you know how in Terminator 1 there's that amazing moment of the T-800 driving the bus with its eyes lit up?
Oh, yeah.
The gasoline thing blew up. That was a kind of a wow moment. In the T2, there was a bunch of awesome moments where it's like, wow, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Stuff that you won't forget, like, the T-1000's first metal look when he's walking out of the exploding gas.
The turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
step 2.
The minigun scene where Arnold's shooting up the police force.
Oh, yeah.
That's a wild scene. Another amazing scene is the highway chase scene towards the end.
Oh, yeah.
And the beginning.
And, with the garbage truck.
Yeah, and in this movie, it had some great moments, but nothing that stays with you.
Yeah.
No action set pieces that are like, wow, I'll never forget that,
I felt like it had flashes of concepts from T1 and T2, but it struggled to give you that same effect that those films gave you.
Yeah. Good action scenes, but they just didn't stay with you.
A lot of references that were nice call-outs and made you, kind of, mild chuckle on the inside.
Yeah.
A little bit. But overall, I think it's an entertaining film. I think it's better than a couple of the Terminator films for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there might be some people that say, "Oh, it's fourth. I like Salvation better than this one," or "I liked Rise of the Machines better than this one, so it's fourth." But it's definitely not fifth, and it's definitely not the sixth.
Yeah.
Terminator film.
Did you like the Mackenzie Davis character, the augmented human?
Yeah, I like that that version, and the way that they, they made her complications and they wrote that into the story.
Yeah. Did you feel like this felt like Arnold's final Terminator film?
I did feel like it. It feels like Arnold's final Terminator film.
It felt like it too.
But they also left it open to where he could, apparently there's...
Probably not going to happen, though, with the way the box office went for it.
Yeah, how bad was it?
It only did like $27 million the whole weekend.
Wow.
Way underperformed.
That's like a regular weekend.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Was there not enough marketing for this film?
Oh, I mean, I think it's just... I think when the way they sold the film, it wasn't letting people know that it was like a...
How did it do overseas? Any idea?
Not that great either. I think I read like maybe another 20 to 25 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just like, I think part of the problem is you're beating a dead horse. Okay.
Yeah.
You've had so many different people in these Terminator films. Like you've had different people playing John Connor. You've had a futuristic movie with Christian Bale. Then you go back and do Genesis with a bunch of different actors.
Yeah.
And I think you've gotten to the point where you've confused people. And then I think they didn't know what to make of Dark Fate. General moviegoers had no idea that it was a reboot that took place right after 2.
Yeah.
Because they really didn't advertise it like that, even in the trailers.
They didn't really put much
And so maybe some of it was marketing, maybe some of it's just people are, this may sound crazy too. A lot of young people don't even know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is.
That's true.
The new millennials and new generations and stuff, they didn't grow up with his movies like him. They may have not even watched Terminator,
Yeah.
And so I think that you're getting these legacy movies of these sequels of films that have been out 20 or 30 years, and Some of them work really well at a high level, and then some of them work on a medium level, like Tron Legacy, and some just aren't working at all. Like, unfortunately, it looks like Terminator Dark Fate hasn't caught on at the box office, and it's a shame.
Yeah. Linda Hamilton's really good in it. She's probably the best actress in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was really good in it, for sure. So bitchy. So bitter.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
And Carl was hilarious.
Carl was hilarious.
And then I wonder, too, like, James Cameron, as powerful of his name as he is, when his name is on a film as just a producer, that doesn't necessarily translate to huge box office. I mean,
although Alita did
pretty well. It did better overseas, and here it ended up doing pretty well. But I think it makes a huge difference if it's directed by James Cameron. And it seems like he could have maybe fit 60 days in to do this film. But no, he's so stuck on doing his Avatar sequels and pre-production for that he chose to just produce this. And I don't know. So we'll see.
It did better than Last Blood.
Yeah.
Last Blood did 19 million opening weekend.
Well, yeah. I mean, Rambo was never expected to be a huge hit.
And what did you watch earlier this week?
I watched The Lion King finally, the live action.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I rented it for the kids, and it does have that feel like, why does this exist? You don't really need it, but it's not bad either. I actually enjoyed watching it, and I thought it was well done. Some amazing CGI work in it. The voice work is very good. It is basically the same story. I think there's a small added scene, if I remember right, where they were giving you hope when Simba is gone and he's still out there. But the music is done good. It's not.
Who directed the movie?
John Favreau.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he directed it. So, I don't think it's as strong as his Jungle Book film.
Jungle Book was great.
Yeah, but it's still. It was enjoyable. I liked it more than the Dumbo live action film.
Yeah.
So I think it was worth watching. It did very well at the box office. It made a shit ton of money. So it's one of the top movies this year. So it did something right. Lion King's a very popular story. And Scar is still a fucking asshole. Man, even in a live action version, he's such a jerk. He's like, God dang it, Scar, why do you gotta do those things you do? Some of the characters, like the hyenas, are a little more creepy in live action.
Yeah.
But it was well done. I'm not gonna knock it.
So next on your list is Maleficent, right?
No.
Maleficent
I
2.
was gonna rent Aladdin 2, but the kids wanted to rent Toy Story 4 and The Lion King. We'd already seen Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
So they watched that again. And
how'd you rent it? Voodoo?
no, I did Redbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was at the store and just grabbed a couple of Redbox movies.
Yeah.
And, did it on there. And I still do Redbox every now and then.
Yeah.
And because I wanted to rent Dark Phoenix just because I'm still curious about it, even though I heard it wasn't very good. It's still the X-Men. I still kind of want to watch
Still not as bad as X-Men Origins.
But I don't want to pay like $4 or $5 to rent on Voodoo, so I might have to Redbox that and pay $1 for it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's what $1.75 now on Redbox. It's still not that expensive.
No.
Yeah. We watched Death of Superman 2, but I didn't mention it. But funny thing about that is I got it as a Redbox rental, and then my card got compromised that next morning, and the card had to get canceled, so no payments could go through. I just kept it.
You haven't seen Reign of Superman?
No,
Death of Superman?
I have, but that was like a while back.
Taken care of before it goes to collections. You don't want collections to get involved.
What? That could happen?
Yes.
Serious?
Anything with an outstanding balance can potentially be put to collections.
Call Redbox, see what they say.
Yeah.
Oh crap!
The movie's been out a while.
Yeah.
That only cost you like $5.
How long have you had it?
I've had it since it came out on DVD.
Really?
Yeah.
Screwed.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
I mean,
Almost equivalent to theft.
I haven't gotten anything on it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe
play
it's a
safe.
privately owned Redbox. So some of those are privately owned.
Yeah.
And the person who owns it probably is like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Oops, I lost one.
Yeah. So you might have gotten lucky on that one.
Maybe.
So, Long, what did you check out this week?
I actually went to the theater yesterday and
That's
watched
right. You
Midway.
texted us like, I'm at the movies, bitches.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that.
No.
Lies. Don't
Lies.
believe what a word they say. I watched Midway. And
I forgot, that's right, it came out.
yeah, I enjoyed it. The action scenes were cool. I don't care.
Reviews haven't been super kind to it, but it's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I still want to see it.
Yeah, I think the reviewers, they're biased. I mean, Roland Emmerich, when they see that name, Roland Emmerich,
Right.
they're ready to hate.
Yeah.
And I feel from an objective point of view, that it was enjoyable, except the biggest detractor is that the lead actor, Ed Skrein, or whatever. Have you two seen
I know who he
Alita?
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's that robot dude with the pretty face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he's in this one, and oh my god.
Ajax.
He
Oh,
has...
that's the dude from Deadpool. Yeah, he's not a very good actor.
Man, dude, I mean, he has a very punchable face.
Yeah.
You know? And on top of that, he's trying to pull off a Brooklyn accent. And it sounds like he has marshmallows under his lips. You know, not in his mouth, but under his lips. So he's like, all right, guys, we gotta... we gotta attack the Japanese,
Some guys can't do dialects, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he sounds like. He's like, okay, darling, we gotta go do this, and we gotta go fly and drop some bombs on them.
That almost sounds like a bad Sean Connery accent.
Or bad Richard Nixon.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's what he sounds like. It's so freaking annoying. A punchable face, bad dialogue.
No.
But other than that, Woody Harrelson was cool. Aaron Eckhart was in it.
Oh, Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah, he played Jimmy Doolittle.
Mm-hmm.
And Dennis Quaid was in it.
I love me some Dennis Quaid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my biggest knock against the film is that when they're on the ships, at least give the name of the ships they're on, so that way people know where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was heavily featured on the USS Enterprise, all the flying scenes, all the ship scenes, and I wish they showed the bombing of the Yorktown, the sister ship, so that way they don't just cut off,
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of stuff, but they have some historically accurate stuff that happened in the film. And I do appreciate it trying to show both sides of the war in it.
No.
And I don't know, but it's kicking butt. It's making more money than Dr. Sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's made $19 million today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not bad for a Friday.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. No, I want to see it. Roland Emmerich, man, if you really think about his career, honestly, there's only 2 movies of his that the Independence Day sequel wasn't very good, and Day After Tomorrow wasn't very good. But I thought 2012 was a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And his Godzilla movie wasn't very good.
No.
But other than that, most of his films have been somewhat entertaining.
The Patriot.
I like The Patriot.
I like The Patriot, yeah.
I mean, I think it's a big Braveheart ripoff, but I don't hate the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of his movies have been
okay.
entertaining in some ways. I love Stargate.
Stargate was good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite sci-fi movies.
And Independence Day. I actually kind of liked
I like
Independence Day
Day.
too. I like ID4 too.
Yeah. You like part 2?
I do.
Resurgence?
I do.
I don't know. I don't like it very much.
You're right.
Yeah.
I liked it the first time, but I didn't like it the second time.
Nah.
But the first Independence Day is so fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is this glass bulletproof? No, sir.
But the one thing I do like, he does know how to direct action. And this movie does a pretty good job at it. But if you're a history buff and you want to see some pretty decent CGI World War II battles...
Decent CGI.
Yeah, this is the way to go. It's not as over the top as Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No Alec Baldwin, huh?
No Alec Baldwin.
Darn.
He played James Doolittle in Pearl Harbor as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one's Aaron Eckhart. So, I know I saw something else this week. I can't remember it. Moving on.
Well, I guess we can get into today's featured film then, since that's what we watched and streamed this week.
Yes.
We're going to do a Christopher Nolan film today. We've only done. I was thinking we'd have done more than one Nolan film. But we've only done The Dark Knight. We haven't done any of his non-Batman films, and the easy choice might have been Memento, which is one of his classics. But we went with The Prestige from 2006. Yeah.
Yep.
He did a movie in between every Batman film. He did The Prestige, and then he did
Insomnia?
No, that was before. He
Inception.
did The Prestige, Inception, and
Memento.
no, he did something between. Did Interstellar come out between The Dark Knight? No,
it came out after
Yeah, it came
Rise.
out after
Gravity?
Dark Knight Rises. No, he didn't do Gravity. I don't think he. Inception came out between The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's only 3 Batman. Those are the 2 movies. He did Inception and Prestige. Or is it
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Insomnia.
Then he did Batman Begins,
and then
Prestige, and then Dark Knight, and then Inception. So yeah. So this is his in-between Batman films, and it stars Christian Bale in it, who plays one of the magicians, and Hugh Jackman. So would you like to summarize it, Matt? You look like you want to summarize it.
Yeah, so it's...
Well, you haven't summarized the plot in 1 month. I haven't seen you summarize it.
That's why I'm letting Matt do it.
I've been tracking this, by the way. No.
Yeah, the film also has David Bowie. It has Andy Serkis, Michael Caine. This is about two rival magicians that end up...
don't forget Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, and ScarJo.
My girl.
Yeah, two rival magicians that first they're pushing each other, and then they're like, they it gets pretty crazy.
Very personal.
Very aggressive, and there's 3 steps. There is what was the first one? Crap, what's the first one? The pledge. The pledge. The magician shows you something, and then there's step 2. There's the turn, and he shows you something that you've never seen before. And then there is the third one, the prestige, and he shows you how he put it all together. This is a really, really good film. It's also featured on...
It's the payoff, actually.
Yeah.
The prestige is the payoff.
Yeah. And it's also Latin, translated from illusion. Ooh. And this is a very masterful film. I mean, he shows you... Nolan is a magician in this film. He shows you things in plain sight. Christian Bale's character has a clone, it's a twin brother, which Nolan hides in plain sight. The thing he's distracting you. Scarlett Johansson distracts you. The audience distracts you from seeing his clone.
It lets you know from the very first frame of the film. Are you watching closely?
Yes. And that's probably a good line to summarize the whole movie. If you could summarize this whole movie with one line, that's it. I remember seeing this movie.
That's not summarizing the plot.
You're
still
the two rival magicians. We don't want to. You want me to
can't give up the prestige.
I don't. Yeah, I can't.
We will get to the twist ending. He's right though.
I don't want to blow it.
I saw this in theaters.
Yeah, you told me about it, and then I had to go rent it. Did I rent it or buy it? I think you let me borrow it.
Did you see this in theaters long?
I saw it on home video.
There's a lot of lists that put this as Nolan's #1 film. I've seen this listed at 1 or 2. They'll flip-flop Memento and The Prestige a lot. And I think this is such an underappreciated film for Christopher Nolan. People forget about it because they remember his Batman stuff and his current stuff, and Interstellar and Dunkirk and Inception. And they kind of forget this movie was squeezed in between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, which made a buco's ton of money and was, putting Nolan on the map completely.
Yeah.
And this film came out in between those, but this is so good. I was watching it a couple of nights ago, and I'm like, and it just catches your eyes on the screen, and you're watching what's going on, and it's so well acted. Hugh Jackman and
the range,
Bale
man,
are really good. Even Scarlett Johansson is really good in this. And I know she took a lot of knock early in her career for just being a pretty face, but she's really good in this movie. And then Michael Caine and the great David Bowie is in this as Nikola Tesla, and I love the fact that they put some real history around this with Nikola Tesla. It's in typical Nolan fashion. It has a twist at the end, which we'll talk about in a minute. But it's not like a completely blow your mind twist. It's more of a think about it twist, and it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But so your thoughts on The Prestige?
I liked it.
I liked it.
No, the movie itself paints a really good picture on how intense the rivalry was between
Borden and Angier.
Angiers and Borden. And
Abra.
Every time I hear Abracadabra, I think of that Steve Buscemi and Steve Carell magicians comedy.
I think of crap. What's that movie with Dave Chappelle? You know what I'm talking about? not up and not. It's a stoner movie.
Half Baked.
Half Baked. Yes. Whenever they're at the end and that's a secret word to let the cops know that they need to come in, but the cops get high and they're like abracadabra, talking into their collars like abracadabra, and the guy's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a new saying, abracadabra," and then they find out that they're wired, and the cops never come. But that's yeah. Just think of.
I think the magician comedy was more apropos for this conversation.
Probably.
Secret word.
Yeah,
no.
secret word.
No, I thought that the obsession that Angier's had as far as trying to
outmatch
Borden was very well illustrated. And the fact that, he went after... They're just trying to figure out each other's secrets and stuff too.
Reading each other's diaries.
Yeah.
Well, and you're absolutely right. The whole film is a misdirection. You're watching Angier's this whole time. You're buying into him as to beat Borden. You're kind of rooting for Hugh Jackman, and then the twist comes at the end of the film, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, he's not the good guy. Because and it's all misdirection. Like you said, Nolan has you watching him. You're kind of thinking Christian Bale's character of Borden is kind of the jerk, kind of the asshole, and then it's all flip-flopped in the last 3 minutes of the film. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. And the movie obviously will go into spoiler territory. And the fact is that Hugh Jackman's character of Angiers gets so obsessed that he asks Nikola Tesla to build him this machine to do this trick called the transported man, which is basically where you're in one room and you end up in another room or an area of the stage within seconds. And Borden was doing it, and he was doing it so smoothly, and Angier became obsessed with doing his own version. So he hires a double, but the double gets compromised by Borden. And so he gets obsessed with doing this trick. And Tesla creates these machines that can cause illusions of their own.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But in this aspect, this is where the movie... And Nikola Tesla, for people who don't know, was a real scientist that lived in Colorado back in the late 1800s. And him and Thomas Edison were kind of competitors in their own right who could create electricity the quickest. And so he creates this machine that actually turns out does... The movie gets in a little sci-fi realm here. And it really does have like this power of he's trying to get his hat to transport, but he can't figure out what's going on, and he finds all his hats outside of Nikola Tesla's house, that the hats were actually getting cloned and put outside. So we fast forward to him using this machine after Nikola Tesla seemingly disappears from Colorado, and he leaves the machine behind for Angier's to do this transported man trick, and so he's doing it, and the twist at the end of the film is Borden shows up to confront him at his stage show. He's going to do 100 shows only of his transported man, his final act, and Borden shoots him. And in doing so, he reveals that he had a twin brother this entire time, and all this obsession that Angier's had was like Borden really wasn't lying or doing anything wrong. He really was. He did live his act, and he was a true magician of form. And we find out that Angier's is the asshole, that he was cloning himself every night through this machine and then killing his own clones.
Yes.
And it's this dark turn at the end of the film, and you're like, wow. And that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
And at the end, he pays the ultimate price with his life because his obsession became too much, and Borden walks away. And ultimately wins the fight in a way. Borden becomes the last man standing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he wins Angier's fortune.
Yes, he wins Angier's fortune. He gets his daughter back, who Angier's at one point had kind of gotten from Borden's, because he had put Borden's in jail for killing one of his clones, essentially, And you're right. The whole film is a misdirection to look at this way, and at the end it just twists it all back to you. You're like, wow. That's why I said, are you watching closely?
Yeah. I watched a video essay on who the real culprit was in this whole movie. The true mastermind of this movie is actually Michael Caine's character, who's the mastermind, and that Borden, they never did say, well, they did kind of explain, well, why something is cloned. It's not the same, and more aggressive, like the cats. The clone cats were more aggressive, right? So if you think about it, Borden when he got cloned, Borden's twin was more aggressive. So there's another misdirection in there that says, well, before the story starts, they were, Borden was probably used the machine for himself in order to, start this whole elaborate scheme to get to Angier's fortune. And there were a couple of lines that Michael Caine's character has said that kind of clue you in that he might be the person that's planning the whole thing as far as trying to get at the fortune for Angier's and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, the way that it's narrated by Michael Caine, it's kind of like almost like a confessional in a way. And in that final shot where Michael Caine and Borden kind of nod at each other, and then while Borden picks up his daughter, at the end of the movie.
I always thought that was weird.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense now.
Yeah. So Michael Caine was also in on it too.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's very much a multi-layered, faceted film in so many ways, and I think this is where Nolan is such a master. I mean, I think he's one of our best filmmakers working. I mean, he's done some remarkable stuff. He hasn't done anything I haven't liked. And he might have a couple movies I've liked a little bit less than the other ones, but he's so good, and he gets a little bit of flack from critics about being a little bit cerebral and the way he likes to use horns and multi-shots. And he uses a lot of cuts. This film I read somewhere has like 100 cuts per 5 minutes of film.
Wow.
So there's a lot of cuts in this film, but I think that's part of the misdirection because they want you to pay attention to everything that's going on in the movie.
Yeah. But the Prestige, definitely that final image, as you mentioned earlier, with all the clones that were locked away.
Yeah.
And that's kind of messed up.
Disturbing, a little
Very
bit.
disturbing.
Yeah, I remember seeing it in theaters, and I sat there for a minute going, wait, because it happens so quickly, the twist at the end, that you kind of have to absorb it for a second.
Yeah.
Like, okay, wait a minute, what happened? Because it's not like a Kaiser Soze type twist. You're like, holy shit, that's fucked up. This is more like, wait a minute, you had to kind of think about it. Like, the twist is there and it's obvious, but it's not obvious. You're kind of like, okay, wait, he did that, he did what? And you kind of put it together. You have to think about it for a minute. I think that's what makes the movie work so well. And the movie's so well shot. It's a period piece. It takes place in late 1899.
Yeah.
And it looks great. They use it's a lot of practical effects, a lot of costumes and built sets in this, which is really nice to see. Not so much CGI backgrounds. And Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale are both very, very good in this.
Oh yeah, this is definitely one of Hugh Jackman's best roles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hugh Jackman's been doing great stuff for years, and I think one day he's going to win an Oscar for something. Bale's already won one, and I think Jackman's going to get a role eventually. That's because the guy has been so good for so many years.
Yeah,
and I think he may have been nominated, but he hasn't quite got over the edge of winning an Oscar.
He's very likable too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like he's like one of the most down to earth, likable actors out there.
I've heard that they say he's super nice. Like, he's not one of those Hollywood types that won't say hi to someone, or like, he's very friendly and will talk to people and stuff.
That's good.
And because he came from nothing, and he wasn't the first choice to play Wolverine. I mean, and when he got the call,
Doug Ray Scott.
Yeah, and Doug Ray Scott, when he got the call to play Wolverine, it completely changed his life, and I think he never forgot about that, and where he came from. And I was thinking too, I didn't realize this is the only time he had worked with Christopher Nolan. Obviously, Bale's worked with him, a few times now, and I'd like to see Hugh work with him again, maybe one day, do another film with Christopher Nolan.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I wonder if he would have been the better actor to play Matthew McConaughey's astronaut.
Yeah.
Because he could pull that off too.
Yeah.
Relatability.
Mm-hmm. So I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, because Nolan does tend to work with a lot of the actors twice. He's Bale a few times. He's Cillian Murphy a couple of times, and
Ken Watanabe.
Ken Watanabe.
He was in Inception, and what else?
The Batman Begins.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
He plays Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Leonardo only did Inception with him. So yeah. Tom Hardy done a couple movies with him. So
and Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. Yeah, so he does tend to work. So maybe he'll come back around and work with
people
Hugh
who
Jackman
don't
again one
screw
day.
him over.
Yeah.
Because, like, if he gets pissed off in public by one of the actors, he doesn't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, where do y'all stand with Nolan over his? I mean, he's one of those new directors we've gotten to see his whole career.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's done some really great stuff, and I look for, like, I really like his original stuff like this, like The Prestige. Well, I don't think The Prestige was one of his brother's scripts.
Yeah.
I think this was based on a script that was out there. But a lot of times Nolan does stuff that him and his brother create, like Inception and
Interstellar's my favorite Nolan film, non-Batman ones.
Yeah. I have to go with Inception for my favorite non-Nolan Batman film.
Ooh.
I like this a lot. I hadn't watched this in several years, and I really found it really enjoyable.
I'm a sucker for space adventures.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
I could probably put The Prestige first.
Yeah.
I'll put The Prestige second.
I think I
second
like
or third.
I think I like the crazy batshitness of Inception. It's so out there and just and crazy and all the dreams over dreams over dreams. I think that's what makes me like it.
I like the soundtrack to that film.
Yeah.
But it gets a little too melodramatic for my tastes. You know? Yeah. I
can see that. And so that's another Joseph Gordon-Levitt, another actor he's worked with a couple times.
Oh yeah.
All right, he was Robin, who managed to figure out who Batman was.
Robin.
Just by the look of his eye. Remember that?
I know. Believe me, the end of the Dark Knight Rises is. I mean, we'll probably do Dark Knight Rises on the show one day, I would imagine. But that ending, I like that ending. It makes me. It made me want a part 4. I really wanted to see him become like Robin than Batman. I don't know why. I'm like, this is too cool. I want to see another one.
That would be cool.
You know?
Yeah.
And it would have been badass for him to take on the mantle, and then Bale shows back up because we know he doesn't die, or Bruce Wayne, and be like, all right, step aside, son, I'm back in the suit. Then have him put on the Robin costume. How cool would that have been?
That would have been
part
cool.
4, you know? But anyway. So how do you guys rank The Prestige?
A+.
Yeah.
Ditto.
I think we're all in agreement.
The acting, the directing, story.
I don't remember the music much when compared to the other Nolan films.
Yeah.
So, but no, I in total agreement. The story, the plot, the sleight of hand.
You had seen this before, right? This
I
wasn't
have.
your first time.
Yeah, you were recommended it to me after it came out.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I remember, like I said, I know I saw it in theaters, and I remember liking it then. And
Yeah. You ever recommended a movie to someone and you wanted to hear their thoughts, but their reaction was totally unexpected? Like, okay, well, yeah, that's cool that you like it too, but not the way that I like it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, for example, I remember one time I recommended a movie to someone because it was just great story, great acting, and then the guy tells me, "Oh man, the violence is so awesome in that movie." You know? Well, yeah, the violence is cool, but you know,
wait, what? That's all you got out of the movie?
Yeah. Did you like the story? He's like, no, I just put up with it.
Yeah, I just put up with it.
But the violence was awesome. The action was phenomenal. And it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's kind of funny. But
funny. Yeah.
Next, we'll watch the Steve Carell and Steve Buscemi Magician. I forgot the name of that movie.
Did
y'all see Now You See Me with Mark Ruffalo? And
I didn't see it.
It was actually pretty good. I never saw the
Now You
sequel
See
because I
Me.
heard the sequel sucked. But the first one was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I can't stand Jesse Eisenberg, personally.
Yeah. He's good. I think like in an ensemble like that, he's okay because he plays off people. But now you see
I've always felt he's
Yeah.
kind of a Michael Cera knockoff.
Michael Cera knockoff.
Whatever happened to him?
Michael Cera?
Yeah.
I guess he grew up. I don't know.
He couldn't sell himself without the baby looks anymore. He couldn't do Superbad.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Scott Pilgrim.
That's
There was
funny.
some talks about Scott Pilgrim too for a while, but I guess it never happened. You know.
They have enough material to do it.
Oh yeah, they could do more.
Yeah.
I know Edgar Wright had thrown the idea around about doing it, but Edgar Wright seems to be like a bit like Kevin Smith, where we'll have all these different projects out. Maybe only one of them ever happens. So that seems
It's tough to make a movie nowadays.
Yeah.
You know? No matter how successful you are now.
that is true.
So,
All right. Well, The Prestige, good stuff.
good stuff.
Go watch it.
It's magical.
Magical.
There. I
Abracadabra.
can't top that. Let's do some news. So we got some Batman casting news. Since we just did Nolan, let's talk about the new Batman film that's coming out in 2021 from director Matt Reeves. Well, none of it's official. None of this has been officially cast, but we just talked about Matthew McConaughey, who was in Interstellar with Christopher Nolan. A lot of rumors going that he's going to play Harvey Dent Two-Face in this film. Not my first choice, but I'm okay with it. You know, McConaughey, man, he gets a lot of knock. He's really good.
He plays a good lawyer.
He's good in stuff he does. Yeah. You just said that because of Lincoln Lawyer and A View to a Kill.
And
he did lawyer movies.
And he's really good at driving Lincolns.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I'm
no commercials. You know,
I can see McConaughey doing.
I'll go with it.
I can see McConaughey doing Two-Face. You know, Harvey Dent. And then Colin Farrell's a Penguin. That's the one that kind of gets me.
That's unexpected.
I'm like, yeah.
But how is Matthew McConaughey going to play Two-Face? Is it going to be like, all right, and then he's like, it's not all right. No.
He flips the coin. And
Hey,
it's not all right.
Let me ask, what movie is all right from? Most people don't know this.
Dazed and Confused?
Very good.
That's right.
A lot of people, for some reason, think it's from Wolf of Wall Street.
No.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because people in Wolf of Wall Street remember the scene where he's hitting his chest, and for some reason they mistake it with all right, because he did it at the Oscars the same year.
Oh, okay.
You know, so yeah, but it's from Dazed and Confused. Now, a lot of people don't know that.
Boom.
And then lastly, Andy Serkis as Alfred. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Because I always view Alfred as being a little bit older, you know. Just my view.
The Michael Caine.
Like, I didn't have a problem with Jeremy Irons as Alfred because he's a little bit older. Michael Caine. Andy Serkis just feels a little young for me on that part, but I don't have any doubts that Serkis can play Alfred. Alfred's not a hard part to play. I just feel like a little bit older actor. That's just my personal thoughts, you know.
Ian McKellen as Alfred.
Too old.
Yeah.
So
you gotta go like
Too old.
50s or 60s. You don't want to go 70s or 80s.
Oh, okay.
Or 90s.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Hey, did you have your protein, Batman?
He was already
Did you put on your cape? Yeah, but he could be Alfred now.
No, not a German Alfred.
Austrian.
So
Alfred.
Universal Pictures has been trying to reboot their Universal Monsters over the years. You know, we had the terrible Tom Cruise Mummy film. So they're using Blumhouse Pictures, their offshoot studio that does a lot of their horror stuff, to the Halloween reboot, to kind of soft reboot these films. And rumor has it that they're still going to try to tie these movies together in some way, but they're going to start with The Invisible Man. And it's being directed by the guy who directed Upgrade, which is a very small sci-fi film that came out last year that if you did not see, you should check out. Upgrade was actually pretty cool. Okay. And the trailer came out. I don't know if you guys watched it.
I saw it.
And I thought the trailer actually looked pretty decent.
Pretty creepy, too.
Pretty creepy.
Yeah,
they're kind of going with the darker Invisible Man story where he's a little bit more controlling, yeah, and a little bit more horror-filled. And but it looked, the movie, they shot it for like $1.7 million. It's a very low-budget film,
Wow.
but it looks great.
Dude, they're going to make so much money.
Yeah, and I think, man, maybe Universal, this is a smart idea. Kind of do some smaller films, see where it goes, and the universe doesn't have to be tied together completely, but maybe you can do a Wolfman movie, and you mention, hey, I heard about this invisible guy in this one, and do it like that. I still wish they were kind of more like Victorian-style horrors and do a modern day, but...
Yeah, I don't know if that'll work.
It is what it is, And... But I was actually pleasantly surprised by that trailer. I was like, this actually looks pretty good. So we'll see how it turns out. They're going to reboot Zorro on CBS with a female lead.
No.
Now, not to sound male chauvinist, but how does this work?
Zora?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Because to me, Zorro's a very important character to Mexican culture.
Yeah, and he was in comics since like the 1940s.
And he's kind of the Mexican James Bond in some ways. And I'm just trying to figure out how a female version of this character works. Because Zorro's kind of a player. He always gets the woman. He saves the day. And I don't know.
Yeah, I think people are trying to make your already popular superheroes into women. Why don't we just create a female, strong comic book character? What's wrong with being original?
Yeah, like 007.
008.
I said 007. But I didn't say James Bond.
I'm just curious how this is going to work. I always thought Zorro was a cool character, and I actually liked the first Antonio Banderas film. The second one wasn't as good. No. But I think Zorro is one of those old school characters that has a place and should have films and TV shows made about it, but not everything nowadays has to be necessarily gender specific or You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just like, if you're gonna reboot Zorro, just reboot Zorro.
I don't care personally because it's a fictional character.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, whatever. I mean, because right now, Hellraiser, they're now playing around with the idea of having the Pinhead being female.
But you have some great young Mexican actors like Diego Luna or Gabriel Luna.
Yeah.
They're both, the last name is Luna. Man, one of those guys, man, would make a great Zorro, you know? I always thought Gabriel Luna would make a great Zorro.
If you're to cast Abraham Lincoln as a female, then I have a problem.
Right.
Unless you use Scarlett Johansson to replace them.
We didn't talk enough about her while talking about The Prestige. She is so beautiful in that movie.
Didn't she die in the movie?
Yeah, she did. She drowned. Right.
Prestige?
Right.
Yeah.
She drowned.
I don't remember.
Oh, so you two didn't watch the movie,
No, I did watch it Wednesday. I just...
Yeah, the mistress assistant. Right, she drowned.
His wife drowns at the beginning of the film.
Oh, that's what it is.
She just leaves them, both. She just leaves them.
That's the beginning point of why they hated each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angier's wife died.
Yeah. No, she just leaves, both of them.
That's
she has
right.
enough of their obsessions, yeah.
And that, her part of the ploy was done, too. So.
Yeah. But, so Zorro reboot.
I don't care, as long as it's not a historical figure.
So we got some Star Wars news. The Mandalorian hits next week, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. But they, the showrunner for Obi-Wan Kenobi, whatever they call the show, they're going to start shooting in July of next year. So sooner than we thought. They're fully writing scripts right now. So pre-production and building sets has already begun. I'm imagining a lot of this is done at Pinewood Studios, things like that.
Eviction notices are handed out to the people who are out in Tunisia.
Nice.
Who live in the old... because those Phantom Menace sets
you can
are
live
still
in them.
out there.
Yeah. So that's sooner than I thought. So if it's July, it means we're probably going to get it sometime in 2021, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
I hope I'm alive by then.
I hope you're alive, too. You know?
Yeah, dude.
And so... Carrie Fisher is only going to be in The Rise of Skywalker for about 8 minutes. I'm glad they put her in the film. I trust J.J. Abrams that they're going to honor her and do things the right way.
With dignity.
And they're using leftover footage from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi to implement her into this movie. And we've seen a couple of shots in the trailers of her hugging Rey, things like that. So hopefully they give her a proper send-off. So
I hope it doesn't end up like Max Headroom.
Right. Don't look weird or anything.
Hey, how you doing? The splicing up.
Yeah. And then
footage.
So I mentioned The Mandalorian is hitting Disney Plus, hits Tuesday, the day after you guys get this new episode. The whole world's going to download it. The Mandalorian hits. And there's some news that new episodes are going to be on Friday. So we're going to get 2 episodes this week. On Tuesday, the day Disney Plus hits, and on Friday night, there will be a new episode. So that's kind of cool. And
I hope Gina Carano's in one of those.
And they release synopsises of the first 3 episodes, and they're very vague, but it does seem like there's an ongoing storyline, which I'm surprised that anyone thought that this wasn't going to be a serialized show. I mean, I think we all knew that was coming. And we've gotten they are marketing the shit out of this. It seems like I can't watch television at night without seeing a Mandalorian commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really putting a lot of money into it. I'm really excited for this. It looks cool as hell. I've always wanted a show like this. I
think I wanted more IG-88. I'm glad that he's in it.
Well, it's like, isn't he like
IG-86?
86, yeah. It's like
no.
Yeah.
I thought it was 88.
But it's from that same...
same thing. He's put together with spare parts.
There's a lot of rumor Bosca's in this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bosk.
The Trandoshans?
Yeah. That there's been talks that people have seen.
I only know their race because my last name's in there. Tran.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, there's apparently people have seen on set, pictures of Bosk and Trandoshans, and so that's kind of cool.
So is this set during the Empire Strikes Back days?
It takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about 5 or 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I hope it's not Boba, personally.
But it might be.
Could be.
We should do like some kind of a bet.
But you're gonna watch it anyway.
Okay, here's the bet. If it's Boba Fett, then I don't know. No, if it's not Boba Fett, and I win, that means I get to pick the next feature, regardless of what you planned.
What if we don't know it's Boba Fett for like 5 years of the show?
What do you mean?
Well, it's an ongoing show.
Yeah, what if they?
For years.
Yeah, what if they don't let you know until like the second season or third
the
season,
fifth season.
or
We'll just have
fifth?
to hold on to that bet, aren't we?
Okay,
We'll just have to hold on to that bet.
put it in your back pocket.
Because I feel like Boba Fett is being put on a pedestal that he doesn't deserve to be on. You know, personally.
He fell into a giant anus. Give the guy a break. All right.
So when you said that last episode, do you mean that in a way that's like
Hilarious.
hilarious and pathetic, or do you think that's hilarious and cool?
Hilarious and kind of cool. I mean, if you're gonna go out, when you want to go out being swallowed by a giant anus,
He died because it was a slapstick joke. You know,
We have lots of Star Wars over the next 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And December 19th, we are going to the movies to see The Rise of Skywalker.
heck yeah, I'm
That's
looking
right.
forward
And
to
then
watching it with you
talking that
guys.
movie that weekend for show.
for show.
So that being said, with Disney Plus hitting on Tuesday, November 12th, we are going to spotlight Disney Plus next week on the show. And we ran a poll on our Twitter account at Rebel Radio Pod. As
Rigged.
what classic animated film do you want to
rigged.
watch?
One vote.
That Matt tended to rig with a couple of burner accounts.
One burner account.
And we said classic, and Matt's choice was Hercules, which isn't exactly... When I think Disney classic, I'm thinking like pre-1990.
Yeah.
We should have went easy on that. I should have picked all the first appearances of all the famous Disney characters, like the first Donald Duck cartoon, or Steamboat Willie,
Right.
Yeah, Steamboat
or
Willie.
Goofy's first adventure, or something like that.
Some oddball
Like a
shit.
10-minute short film
So
instead of a feature length.
thanks to Matt's burner Twitter accounts, Hercules won the poll.
Not really.
And
Won by
that's-
5 votes.
And that's the movie we are going to do next week.
What you folks need is a hero.
Yeah? And who are you?
I happen to be a hero.
Coming summer 1997.
Get your sword! And a hero is only as good as his weapon.
Walt Disney Pictures presents Hercules.
Bless my soul, Kirk was on a roll. Person of the weekend, every Greek opinion post.
The man.
Hercules!
Hercules.
Hercules.
The myth.
I'm an action figure.
The movie.
2 thumbs way up.
Zero the hero in no time flat. Zero the hero, just like that.
Is this kid gonna mess up my hostile takeover bid or what?
From the creators of Aladdin and The Little Mermaid
I'm telling you.
Wackos.
comes a cast of wildly imaginative new characters. The spirited and independent Meg.
Aren't you a damsel in distress?
I can handle this. Have a nice day.
Philatides.
Call me Phil.
Herc's personal trainer.
Don't let your guard down because of a pair of big blue eyes.
Hades. Lord of the Underworld.
Hey, mention my name. We got a doom with a view.
And his henchmen, Pain and Panic.
We are worms!
Next summer.
Get ready to rumble.
It's Disney's 35th all-new animated feature. The legendary story of Hercules.
Yes, indeed.
We dance, we kiss, we schmooze, we carry on, we go home happy. What do you say?
We are going to do a complete 180 from doing Dread the Prestige and do a kid film.
Oh, but for download this for that week, we should each pick a movie or some kind of movie on our own to watch.
Well, I figure we'll probably be talking The Mandalorian too. During
Oh
yeah.
yeah, we are. But I do plan on watching a feature film or two.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
and then we'll surprise each other what we picked, other than The Mandalorian. So
We'll see what we can do with
yeah.
that. So Hercules, the animated Disney version, not the Arnold Schwarzenegger version,
Yes.
or the Rock version, or any other version of Hercules, the animated version. With who did the voice of Hercules in that? James Woods, right? No,
James Woods was Hades.
that's Hades.
Oh, I want to see that.
Danny DeVito
I
was.
do want to see the Witch Mountain movie with The Rock in it.
I saw that. It was okay.
Yeah.
So that's next week on the Rebel Radio podcast. Thank you, Matt, for. I guess he didn't get his Roadhouse for his birthday. He got his last action hero, so I guess we give him Hercules. But he's
Yeah.
not picking another fucking movie the rest of the year.
Hercules.
Hercules.
So go to the Rebel Radio.
Tate Donovan.
Go to the rebelradiopodcast.com. Join our Patreon, and you can get shouted out on the show too, like Brett, Matt, and Michael did today.
Mm-hmm.
And we really appreciate
I'll stalk
that.
you too.
And my long will stalk you too. And join our and follow us on Twitter at Rebel Radio Pod, Facebook, all that good stuff as always. And we appreciate as always for listening to the show. And I think that's all we got today. This has been Mark.
This has been Matt.
I was looking at you.
What the heck?
I said your name. This has been Mark.
This has been Matt.
This is Long. Sorry, I won't say anything.
Okay, I was waiting because I always wait because Long always adds something extra to his name, like the stalker.
And remember, we give you the tools to be your own boss.
But thank you as always for listening to the Rebel Radio podcast. Until next week, just go there
and do it.
I'm watching.
This is Chuck Huber. You're listening to the Rebel Radio podcast. Stop being so awesome.